This happened during a cave diving expedition. A group of men decided to explore an underwater cave system, but tragedy struck. At the start, one of the divers suffered a fatal accident, and another, upon seeing the situation, panicked, lost control of his breathing, and drowned. A third member, caught between the two bodies, was paralyzed with fear, his heart racing and his nerves on edge. The incident took place on February 6, 2014. 5 men cut a triangular hole in the ice of a small pond to access the entrance to the underwater cave. To prevent the water from becoming murky with sediment, they decided to divide into 2 groups and dive in sequence. The plan was for the expedition to last about 5 hours, so their equipment was fully prepared. 2 of them carried propulsion devices to aid their movement inside the cave. After swimming about 30 meters in the dark water, they reached an air chamber over 20 meters long, where they took a brief pause before continuing. The water was freezing and the corridors became increasingly narrow, surrounded by jagged cliffs. At a depth of 135 meters, they encountered a nearly 180-degree turn in the path. Patrick, leading the group, used his propulsion device to carefully advance, but he noticed that Shari was no longer following. Turning back, he saw Hari's flashlight shaking erratically, a clear distress signal. Patrick discovered that Hari was stuck on a rock due to the propulsion device's cable. He tried to free him, but Jari, in panic, began to breathe uncontrollably. All of them were using closed-circuit rebreathers, which recycle air and allow for longer dives. However, in situations of panic, they can cause carbon dioxide poisoning. Jari's equipment detected abnormal breathing and triggered an alarm. He tried to switch to his emergency, open-circuit tank, but swallowed water and began convulsing. Patrick placed a regulator in Jari's mouth, but it was too late. Jari was no longer moving. Desperate, Patrick forced himself to stay calm. He wanted to take Jari's body back, but realized his own breathing was becoming irregular. His dive computer indicated that he would need 40 minutes to ascend safely and decompress, far beyond the original plan. Reluctantly, he continued alone. Meanwhile, the other 3 divers entered the cave as planned, unaware of what had happened. Upon reaching the depths, they found Jari's body stuck and were shocked. One of them, Gary, also panicked at the sight. His rapid breathing led to confusion, and he quickly switched to emergency equipment. Kai, who was behind him, tried to calm him down, but Gary also succumbed. Now alone, Kai was overwhelmed by a sense of helplessness. The murky water obscured his vision, and he decided to return the same way, even though it was longer. With oxygen running low, Kai ignored decompression stops and swam straight to the surface, putting his life at risk. Meanwhile, Patrick found another passage and saw light. It was Visa, another member of the group. Together, they concluded that the others had likely perished. After surfacing and undergoing decompression treatment, they realized that only Jari and Gary had died. The next day, rescue teams attempted to recover the bodies, but the cave's complexity led authorities to abandon the effort, sealing the cave and leaving the bodies inside. Unable to accept this decision, the 3 survivors planned to retrieve their companions. A month later, they organized a secret operation with 27 divers. After 5 days of work, they recovered the bodies and produced a documentary about the incident. Despite violating orders from authorities, they were not punished, and the operation gained widespread media attention.